Summertime and the living is easy. At least I hope so. Parks Casino Shippensburg will make it the case. If you live in Western Maryland, if you live in Northern Virginia, South Central PA, or West Virginia, you're all within a good driving distance, meaning easy driving distance, to get to Parks in Shippensburg. Hagerstown, Maryland, I'm looking at you. Winchester, Virginia, Martinsburg, West Virginia, Chambersburg, Pennsylvania, Carlisle, PA. What a beautiful little community that is. Dickinson College. And many, many more. You can all get quickly to Parks Casino. Why would you want to go there? It's because they're loaded with 500 state-of-the-art slot machines, 48 live dealer electronic table games featuring blackjack, roulette, and more. You can bet sports on the Bet Parks sportsbook kiosks located in the casino, and then stay and watch all the action. Have some skin in the game. It'll be fun. Enjoy the Liberty Bar and Grill. That's an upscale, family-friendly restaurant and sports bar featuring prime rib specials twice a week, handcrafted cocktails, craft beer, all your favorite comfort foods. Get in on the action. Visit Parks, P-A-R-X, casino.com. Got to be 21 for the casino gambling problem. Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Time now for the Thursday headlines from the Smerconish.com daily newsletter. So, obviously, I have a lot of choice as to what I put in the lead position. My number one story today is from the Associated Press, and it pertains to a brand new poll, a poll that has been picked up and picked apart by lots of media outlets. But what I found interesting is that so many different outlets, and maybe to suit their own objectives, you'll have to be the decider of that. They all came to different conclusions as to what was most significant, what was most important about the poll. So the Associated Press itself, their headline, Trump enjoys strong support among Republicans. The general election might be a different story. By the way, every one of the headlines is true. It's not that any of the headlines are embellished, but it's just that people saw different, including me and the headline that I put on it. The AP, it's their data with NORC. Trump enjoys strong support among Republicans. The general election could be a different story. That's absolutely true. Some of the other headlines that I saw about this include Mediaite. Whopping 64% of Americans say they definitely or probably would not support Trump. Okay, that's their headline. Is it true? It is true. It's half a story, in my opinion, because guess what? 64% of Americans say they definitely or probably would not support Donald Trump. How about the fact that 75% don't want Joe Biden? I mean, for me, what was most significant about the poll is that 75% overall, meaning R's and D's and I's, they don't want Biden to be the next president, and 69% don't want Trump. But interesting question. Why do the number of those who don't want Biden exceed the number who don't want Trump? It is Trump who's now 4 times indicted.
I believe someone explained it all yesterday. That would be you. Your whole domestic violence. We're
the rallying too.
Yeah, it's coming to fruition. It's true. You can see it.
The headline that I used at Smerconish.com, which I think is most significant. Most still don't want Trump or Biden.
You're a headline writer, Michael. You're involved, deeply involved.
Well, the reason that I thought that was the way to spin it is because it has implications for what no labels might do. I mean, what more do they need to see if it is these two guys? Fox News, their headline, GOP voters say Trump retains support, but believe controversies distract from issues. The Hill, 53% in new poll say they would not support Trump. Do you see what I mean about how everybody goes in on something different?
Nugget.
Right. Like why did
a little twist.
Why did the Hill think that 53% saying they would not support Trump if he's the GOP nominee? Why is that more significant than the fact that 5%? Most do not want Biden or Trump to run for president, including 75% of them. They don't want Biden to run.
So is it editorializing through headline?
I think so.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, I absolutely think so. And I just tried to play it straight in terms of what is the most significant thing I'm seeing in this. Man, a lot of people don't want either of these two.
Right.
How about the Hindustan?
Hindustan
Times. 64% of Americans will not vote for Trump in 2024.
That's what they pulled out.
Okay. So, liars figure and figures lie. Isn't that the old line? Al Jazeera, U.S. divided along party lines over Trump election.
Well, that's true.
So there you go. Yesterday at Smerconish.com, speaking of polls, how about my own poll? How many Trump criminal trials will occur before Election Day 2024? I happen to love this one. 37.1%, a plurality, said there will be two. There will be two. I wonder which two the people who said two think there will be. 32% and change said there will be one. 14%, we need to file this away. Well, actually, we do catalog these at Smerconish.com. 14% and change said there will be zero. There will be zero. Should the 14th Amendment, by the way, I think there's no prospect that the Fani Willis case, she put a trial date on it now. She said that she wants this case to go to trial on March 4. What? 19 defendants? It's a RICO action? And I just have to say this again. I think that type of aggressiveness by the Fulton County District Attorney plays into the Trump hands and this perception of it is political. Because why is she seeking to race such a complex case to get to trial, other than to beat the election? And I don't think that should be any of her view. I don't think that should be within her purview, I guess is a better way to say it. On today's program, from The Ohio State University, Professor Ned Foley making the argument that the 14th Amendment should be used now to bar Donald Trump from running for president because he has engaged in insurrection or rebellion. Those are the words of the 14th Amendment. A lot of voting, I know, already on this question. Should we do that? Think about the political implications. Think about the way in which that would be reacted to, and it's going to happen, that there will be this challenge. There's no doubt in my mind that some Secretary of State from a state is going to bring that challenge, deny Trump ballot access, and it'll get to the Supreme Court of the United States. But where's the legal finding as of now that he's engaged in insurrection or rebellion? There hasn't been a finding like that. Don't tell me the January 6th Commission, because they did an investigation, they came to a conclusion, but it was one-sided insofar as there was no cross-examination and there was no jury determination. So a lot of heavy stuff, politically speaking, going on in the world.
Very heavy stuff, including your plans changed last night. I've been wanting to talk to you about it.
Significantly.
Is it now time? Can we discuss?
Let's do it. Come on.
All right. So actually, you and I were going back and forth via email yesterday, fairly like a lot. We both had plans last night. When that happens, usually, we try to get things squared away.
We want to be organized.
Yeah, you were working way ahead. You were doing trying to find the right links, trying to figure out what we wanted to do today, going back and forth. All of a sudden, an alert pops up on my phone. Bruce Springsteen is postponing his concerts.
Yeah.
And of course, I picked up the phone immediately and called you. I just checked the time. It was 2:31 p.m.
So I had tickets to see Springsteen, 6 or 9 months ago, and he canceled because of some illness. And then I saw the show that was rescheduled.
Was that COVID at that point?
Don't know.
Okay.
Don't know. Wasn't said at the time. Okay. And similarly, it said, if I go to Variety, which we link to at Smerconish.com today, right, Bruce Springsteen may be haunting the pharmacies of Philadelphia as his being under the weather has been cited as the reason for the postponement of 2 shows that were supposed to take place in that city. The statement that was released from the boss said, due to Bruce Springsteen having been taken ill, his concerts with the E Street Band at Citizens Bank Park on August 16 and 18 have been postponed.
The email that I got from the Encore yesterday said due to a personal illness.
Right.
Which I thought that was an interesting turn of phrase.
Can I share some thoughts on this?
Please.
Okay. I brought with me to work today the Springsteen memoir, Born to Run. It is a great read.
It's a tome.
Really, it is. And it's fabulous. And any fan of the boss, and I consider myself to be a fan of the boss, you will love it. Yesterday, I think at this point in the program, I told you the story about the significance of the main point relative to Bruce. So I just wanted to read this to you.
We all expected you to be wearing a concert T-shirt today.
I would have been if there were a concert, because I can't resist the merch on the way out the door, especially after a couple of beers. I'll just pick this up midstream. I knew then I was not bound for top 40. The other experience was that we were playing an empty house gig at the Main Point in Bryn Mawr, Pennsylvania, when in walked David Dye. He was a DJ over at WMMR, Philly's local FM station. He watched us play to 30 people and approached us and said, "I love your band." And that night, we heard Greetings from Asbury Park being spun to music-loving insomniacs as we drove out of town in our tour bus. Eventually, I got to know every DJ from every major rock city in America. Ed Shockey, a great DJ and fan out of Philly, whose home I'd occasionally stay at when we played the City of Brotherly Love. I referenced him yesterday.
You absolutely did.
Okay, so I'm closing the loop on that. But something that I greatly admired about the boss when reading the memoir was his openness as to his struggles with mental health issues. I'm not saying that's why he canceled the shows. I have no idea why he canceled the shows.
Right.
But I appreciate him being so forthright about this because I think it opens the door for others to similarly be forthright. The same point that I made about Senator John Fetterman, even though I was very critical of Fetterman for other reasons, political reasons during the course of that campaign. But this is from Bruce, just to give you a little taste.
Okay.
Midstream, picking this up. I've broached these subjects in several long, semi-analytical conversations with John in the past. That's John Landau, his longtime manager.
Got it. I wondered who that was.
He gets the drift. It's dark and getting darker. My well of emotion is no longer being channeled and safely pipelined to the surface. There's been an event, and my depression is spewing like an oil spill all over the beautiful turquoise green gulf of my carefully planned and controlled existence. I like the way that he writes. He writes like a song, you know? Its black sludge is threatening to smother every last living part of me. John advises, you need professional help. At my request, he makes a call, I get a number, and 2 days later, I drive 15 minutes west to a residential home office in a suburb of Los Angeles. I walk in, look into the eyes of a kindly, white-haired, mustached, complete stranger. I sit down, and I burst into tears. Ooh. Further along in the book, under the heading of What's Up, Doc, Bruce Springsteen. In this way, I slowly acquired the skills that would eventually lead to a life of my own. That was still many tears, mistakes, heartbreaks away, and often remains a struggle to this day. The price I paid for the time lost was just that, time lost. You can blow your fortune, should you be lucky enough to obtain one, and make it back, damage your reputation, and with effort and dedication often restore it. But time lost is gone for good. I had my winter in California, then returned to New Jersey. I was referred to Dr. Wayne Myers, an avuncular, soft-spoken man with an easy smile in New York City. And over many meetings and long-distance phone calls during the next 25 years, Doc Myers and I would fight many demons together until his passing in 2008. When I was in town, we would sit face to face, with me staring into his understanding eyes, patiently, painstakingly putting together a pretty good string of wins along with some nagging defeats. We successfully slowed down that treadmill I'd been running on while never getting it to completely stop. In Doc Myers' office, I got a head start on my new odyssey. His knowledge, along with his compassionate heart, guided me to the strength and freedom I needed to love things and be loved. One final paragraph. In all psychological wars, it's never over. There's just this day, this time, and a hesitant belief in your own ability to change. It is not an area where the unsure should go looking for absolutes, and there are no permanent victories. It's about a living challenge filled with the insecurities, the chaos of our own personalities, and is always one step up, 2 steps back. The results of my work with Dr. Myers and my debt to him are at the heart of this book. That was the biggest takeaway that I took from Born to Run the memoir. Wow. So I don't know why he's ill. I wish him Godspeed. I love his music. I admire the man. But I just thought it was an opportunity that I wanted to do when I read the book, and I never did, just to come in and share his candor about a subject that afflicts so many.
Right.
And so, you know, that's Bruce Springsteen and his means of dealing with it.
I wonder if that was the issue with him canceling the shows, postponing the shows. Given his openness, would he have said it?
Yeah, I
don't
wonder
know the
about
answer to
that
that.
too.
I don't know.
And I don't want somebody to listen to me today or
And
to
think
watch
you're
me today
saying, right.
and then whisper down the lane that the boss is depressed and that's why he didn't perform. I have no idea why he didn't perform last night. I just know that he's been very candid in the past about the demons that he faces that many people face.
All right, so tell me about the Middletown Grange
Fair. So instead, I went to the Middletown Grange Fair.
Like, what is that?
And we took our grandson and our family, and we looked at animals and produce and rode rides and ate things that stuck to us.
I mean, what's better than that? I don't know. I think it's fabulous.
TC, more headlines from Smerconish.com, the Thursday edition of the newsletter. By the way, it's a Thursday. TC After Dark drops today.
TC After Dark. Restore movement. That is the focus, restoring your movement, which is a stretching company that I have been using since my hip replacement. And I talked to the founder.
I
His
need
name
a
is,
stretch.
Oh my gosh. Can I send you to Jenny Knoll? She's amazing.
Will she come to my house?
I don't know if she does.
You
house
go to
calls.
her?
Yeah. But it's right
For
down.
how long do you stretch?
It's right down in Wayne. It's 45 minutes to an hour is
just
each session.
Stretching.
It is okay. So she uses not a Theragun because she's got a proprietary thing that she uses, but like a percussion gun on your entire body, and then does stretches with you. So it's like more than you would do. Like Michael, when I stretch after a workout, this is me. Like okay,
right. I do.
Done.
No.
Like, yeah. Okay.
No.
Right?
No. I was on the bike yesterday.
Okay. What'd you do?
I was on a bike yesterday.
You pulled one leg up in the back
with Hannah.
The other leg up in the back, and you're
with
done.
Hannah.
Right.
So I swear to you, we've never discussed this.
No.
So I'm getting ready to get on the bike for a 30-minute workout for a disco ride yesterday with Hannah.
Of course, it was disco.
And
were you watching the 5?
Oh yeah, definitely. Before I went to the Grange Fair. So what do? I put myself back on a football field in summer camp in 1978, and I say, what did we do? And I start like this.
Okay, I'm dying.
And then I go like this.
I'm dying. Okay.
And then I go like this.
Okay, what Michael's doing is he's doing like little arm circles.
And then I hold
circles.
up one knee.
Right.
And then I move my foot. And then I hold up my other knee. And then I think, oh, the groin. Do something for the groin. I get down. I stretch.
What do you do for the groin? I don't want to know.
So I would like to see this person.
You got to listen to this because it is a reminder to me. Truly, this episode is a reminder to me. You gotta stretch.
Well, isn't that what yoga is? Isn't yoga stretching?
Yes.
Like my friend Shane Inspector once said to me, I never forgot. He said, if they only called it stretching, more guys would do it.
So true. By the way, yoga's no joke, though. I get hurt every time I do yoga because I think I'm better than I am, and I'm not. But this woman is really incredible, and she's worked with people that have had hip replacements, which is what got me to her in the first place. And she's just really, really good.
I would benefit from just a good stretch.
I'm telling you right now.
Yeah.
Just go once and see what you think, because I think she is really outstanding.
All right. What's this got to do with TC After Dark?
I interviewed her.
Oh, okay.
I interviewed her. We talked about stretching. We talked about stretching and her business. And by the way, she's a female. Maybe that's obvious. Maybe it's not. But she's a vet. She's a Navy veteran. So
nice.
She's really cool. Yeah.
A couple of other quick things, if I might. For subscribers only of the Smerconish.com newsletter, we've talked about the Marion County Record, the small newspaper in Kansas that had a search warrant executed. The mom, the 98-year-old, she died. She was apparently so traumatized from it. Steve Breen, formerly of the San Diego Union, Pulitzer Prize-winning cartoonist who every Thursday illustrates for the Smerconish.com newsletter, has a great cartoon about that issue. I just love it. I love these cartoons. You look at it. Jack Oman was great on Tuesday. You're scrolling through my newsletter. There it is. It's got a great message. It's funny, and he's a wonderful illustrator. Pulitzer Prize 2-time winner. My favorite story today at Smerconish.com might be the story from NPR about the interns. Do you quickly want to tell that? 8
interns that worked with Alaska Senator Lisa Murkowski this summer took it upon themselves to, throughout the course of the summer, take selfies with all 100 senators.
That is awesome.
And it took them all summer. It took them all summer to do it. And I am telling you, this is the most charming, interesting sort of slice of life to see these kids, the pictures with the senators. And NPR interviewed 2 of the interns. They happen to both be female, to get their take on who, like, some of the best of class, what do they call it? Like, most likely to.
Right.
That's sort of what they did. So the most fun senator, for example, they said was Cory Booker. Also, they said he's an ideal selfie candidate. Not only does he have a big smile, but he stands at 6'3", giving him the needed wingspan to snap a selfie with everyone in it, because there were 8 of them total. Okay, you want to continue? You want to pick up?
Well, my favorite part of it and least surprising part.
Don't you kind of wish we were taking calls now and you could say, like, who do you think is right?
Yeah. The hardest to track down.
I love this.
The hardest to track down, Kirsten Sinema. I am
hysterical.
not surprised at all, because I know that we've worked overtime to get her on this program and CNN, and we've never been successful.
And they said the independent senator from Arizona was not quick enough to escape the camera shutters of the Murkowski interns.
As distinguished, by the way, from the longest to track down, which was Amy Klobuchar.
I know. Well, she's very busy.
It's a great piece. Also, you'll want to read about Michael Lewis wrote The Blind Side. He weighs in on this whole controversy over Michael Oher. Out of time. Go vote at Smerconish.com on today's poll question. Like and subscribe if you're watching on video, and subscribe to the newsletter and listen to TC After Dark. See ya.